Good morning to all students who are watching this video. Today I am going to teach plus 1 accountancy CBSE. First chapter is Introduction to Accounting. Introduction to Accounting. In this chapter, today I am going to teach what is the meaning of accounting, definition of accounting, and characteristics of accounting. This is the first part I am going to teach you. What is the meaning of accounting? Accounting is a systematic process of identifying, measuring, recording, classifying, summarizing, analysis and interpretation, communicating and all to the users, and also it gives information, the resources available. Number 2, how the available resources have been employed. Third one is the result by the users. This is the meaning of accounting. The second head is definition. Definition of accounting. In 1941, American Institute of Certified Public Accountant defined accounting is the art of identifying, recording, classifying and summarizing in a systematic manner in terms of money. This is the definition by American Institute of Certified Public Accountant in the year 1941. The second definition is 1966. American Accounting Association defined accounting as the process of identifying, summarizing, recording and communicating economic information. This is the definition of accounting. The third head is characteristics of accounting. What are the characteristics of accounting? The first one is identification of financial transaction and events. In accounting, transaction is very, very important. In every accounting process, there is a transaction. In every transaction, there is an event. This is a very important characteristics. For example, if you purchase a goods, there is a transaction and also event. Purchase goods means there is one aspect is goods, the other aspect is money. The second characteristics is measuring the identification transaction. Any transaction, I had already told, there are two aspects. One is measuring, the other is quantity. For example, if you purchase goods means it involves two measuring. One is quantity, the other one is money. The third one is recording. It's a very important characteristics. Recording. In any business, accounting characteristics is recording. The first recording is journal. I had already told any transaction there are two aspects. For example, one company purchase a material means there are two aspects. First, the company must pause journal. So this is the recording. Recording is very important characteristics of accounting. Next characteristics of accounting is classifying. After pause journal entries, you must classify it into ledger. You must classify it into ledger. This is classifying. Subsidiary books, cash book, various accounts. After classifying, you must summarizing. How to summarize? Trial balance, trading account, profit and loss account, balance sheet. So this is the summarizing. Next characteristics is analysis and interpretation. After summarizing, it helps the management to know the financial position. From the financial position, the management will take decision. So analysis and interpretation. Last characteristics, communicating. Last character is communicating. So the financial position, the accounting, communicating the users or management to take judgment or financial position to take decision. So this is very important, communicating. The accounting communicate the management to take important decisions or judgment. So these are the very important characteristics of accounting. Today I am going to teach what is journal. What is journal? It's a very important chapter. It's a very fundamental chapter. Without journal, you can't do any problems. It's a very important, it's a fundamental chapter in accounting. So, what is journal? Journal means debit and credit. Debit and credit is equal to journal. So you can't say only debit, journal, or you can't say credit, only journal. Journal means debit and credit is equal to journal. It's a very, very important. So keep it in your mind. So journal means debit and credit is equal to journal. Okay. How you find journal? I had already told in any transaction there are two aspects. In any transaction there are two aspects. So one is debit, the other one is credit. So now how to find out debit and credit? So here there are three rules. There are three rules to find out debit and credit. It's a very simple. So there are three rules. It's called golden rules. It's called golden rules. Debit, credit. So first rule, what comes in? What comes in is a debit. What is the opposite? What goes out. So what comes in is a debit, what goes out is a credit. The second rule, expenses is a debit, gain is a credit. The third rule is receiver is a debit, giver is a credit. So these three rules is very important to find out debit and credit. So I will give one simple technique. Credit is equal to, keep it in your mind, G. So here goes out, gain, giver. So this is one simple technique. So these three rules must be kept in your mind. You won't forget. But don't mug up. Please don't mug up. What comes in is a debit, what goes out is a credit. All expense a debit, all gain is a credit. Receiver is a debit, giver is a credit. So these three rules must be kept in your mind. This is a very important for journal. From these three rules, first we must find out what is debit, and then you must find out what is credit. If you find out debit and credit, you can easily pass journal entries. So this is the very important point, three rules for journal. Okay. So you got any doubt? If you got any doubt, please call me. Okay. Right. Today I am going to give only 2 or 3 transactions. How to find out debit, how to find out credit, and then how to pass journal. Okay. So first you take one transaction. For example, purchase goods for cash, rupees 10,000. So this is the transaction. This is called a transaction. So first you read the transaction carefully. So what is the transaction? Number 1, purchase goods for cash. First you know the meaning. You must find out what is the transaction. Number 2, what is the meaning of transaction? So purchase goods for cash means we are purchasing goods. So there are 2 aspects. One is we are purchasing goods means what comes in, goods comes in. Then aspect is what goes out, cash goes out. So one aspect is comes in, the other aspect is goes out. So comes in is a debit, goes out is a credit. So very simple. So we can easily write journal. Right. How to write journal? In accountancy, there are 2 sides, but in journal you must pass only one side. In one side, this column is called date column. This is a particulars. This is a debit. This is a credit. So you must write date. Next, particulars. Then debit. Then credit. Rupees. Okay. So how to write journal? Some boys, some students, if you ask purchase goods for cash, what is the journal entry? Immediately they say purchase account data to cash. But they don't know why you debit purchase, Why you debit credit? They don't know. So how to write past journal? Purchase goods for cash. You must ask yourself, what comes in? What comes in? Goods comes in. Comes in is a debit. So first you write goods account data. Give one space. What goes out? Cash goes out. Goes out is a credit. So here you write cash account. You put amount straight debit. You put credit 10,000. Students, you must keep one important point. In accountancy, you won't use the word goods. You won't use the word goods. Here, what you are doing? Purchase. So you must write here purchase account data. You won't write goods. In terms of goods, you must write what? Purchase. So purchase account data to cash account. 10,000 debit, 10,000 credit. Next important point, every journal you must write narration. That is very, very important. You must, all the journal entry, you must write narration. Narration, what is the meaning of narration? It's only simple. It's a meaning of, or the transaction must write here. That's all. Very simple. What is the transaction? Purchase goods for cash. That's all. So this is called narration. You must write, every journal you must write narration. So this is the journal. So again I will repeat how to pause journal. For example, transaction, purchase goods for cash. This is called a transaction. Only you must write purchase account data to cash. Please don't write like this. You yourself ask what comes in. Goods comes in. Comes in is a debit. So you don't write goods. Instead of goods, you must write purchase account data. What goes out? Cash. Goes out is a credit. So to cash account. You must practice like this. You don't mug up. Purchase good for cash. Immediately purchase account data to cash. Most of the students, they don't know why you debit purchase. Why you debit credit cash. Number of students, they don't know. You must use the rules. It will be very much useful for accounts. I'll give another example. I'll give the next example. Sold goods for cash, rupees 5,000. So this is the transaction. Sold goods for cash. First you understand the transaction. Number two, you understand the meaning. First, sold goods for cash. What is the meaning? We sold goods for cash. We sold goods for cash. So here also there are two aspects happen. One, we sold means what comes in? Cash comes in. Comes in is a debit. So cash account data to what goes out? Goods goes out. You must write here goods. But I had told in accountancy you don't write goods. Instead of goods, you must write sales account. That's all. So I had already told any journal there is a narration. Without narration, it is not a journal. So you must write. What is the narration? Write the transaction. Sold goods for cash. That's all. Understand, students? So it's very important for accounts. First chapter is journal. You must you must know how to pause journal. Okay, I'll next example. Paid rent rupees 3,000. So I had already told, first you understand the transaction. If you understand and you know the meaning, you will easily find out what is debit, what is credit. Here, paid rent means we are paying rent. So for our side, we are paying rent means it's a expenses. So all expense is a debit. So you must debit what? Rent account data to. Next question is, what goes out? What goes out? Cash goes out. Goes out is a credit. So you write cash account. That's all. So I had already told, every journal you must write narration. So what is narration? Simple. Paid rent. That's all. So amount is 3,000. Okay? Any doubt? So same, you must use all the rules. Next, transaction. I am going to teach only 6 transactions. Next, received interest rupees 1,000. Received interest rupees 1,000. What is the meaning of received interest rupees 1,000? We are receiving interest. So we are receiving interest means we must ask what comes in. What comes in? Cash. Comes in is a debit. So cash account data. Then interest received means it's a expenses or gain. We are receiving means it's a gain. Gain is a credit. So you must write to interest account. Narration, interest received. How much? 1,000. That's all. Students, any doubt? Next transaction. What is the next transaction? The 5th transaction, paid cash rupees 3,000 to Sam. 3,000 to Sam. So here, what is the meaning? So paid cash rupees 3,000 to Sam means we are paying cash to Sam. We are paying cash to Sam. So what you will ask? We are paying cash means who is the receiver? Who is the receiver? Sam is the receiver. Receiver is a debit. So you debit Sam account data to what goes out? Cash goes out. Goes out is a credit. So you must credit cash account. Narration, paid cash to Sam. How much? 3,000. That's all. Okay. The last example transaction. Received cash rupees 5,000 from Gobal. What is the meaning of this transaction? 6th. Received cash rupees 5,000 from Gobal. So we are receiving cash from Gopal. So what we will ask, what comes in? What comes in? Cash comes in. So cash account data to who is the giver? Who is the giver? Here Gopal is the giver. Giver is a credit. So you must credit Gopal account. So I had already told every journal you must write narration. Here very simple. Received cash. So you put here received cash from Gopal. Gopal. How much? 5,000. So this is called journal. So every journal, every transaction, you must use the rule. This is the very important. For example, paid into bank. Paid into bank means, what is the meaning of the transaction? We paid cash to bank. So what goes out? Cash goes out. Who is the receiver? Bank is the receiver. Receiver is a debit. So you must debit bank account data. What goes out? Cash goes out. Goes out is a credit. So what is the journal? Bank account data to cash account. What is the narration? Paid into bank. That's all. The next, withdrew cash from bank. Withdrew cash from bank means we are withdrawing cash from bank. So what comes in? Cash comes in. Comes in is a debit. So you must debit cash account data. Who is the giver? Bank is the giver. Giver is a credit. So you must write cash account data to bank. Okay. So very simple. But you must use the rules in every transaction. Please students, don't mug up. Without using rules, don't pass journal entry. You must use. You ask yourself. Then only it will be very much useful for higher level studies. Higher level studies. Okay? You understand? Any doubt? If you have got any doubt, please contact. I will help you. Okay? So journal, you must paka in 3 rules. Please don't mug up. Please don't mug up. What comes in is a debit. What goes out is a credit. All expense is a debit. All gain is a credit. Receiver is a debit. Giver is a credit. If you know the rules from the transaction, you find out debit and credit. If you find out debit and credit, you will easily pass the journal entry. Okay? Thank you.